There is also news this morning in the Russia investigation. New pressure on the special counsel Robert Mueller, with two top Republicans calling for Mueller to wrap it up.
And then there's Rudy Giuliani, President Trump's personal attorney, who now says Robert Mueller and his team should be investigated. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is at the White House for us with the very latest this morning. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Dan and Paula. Giuliani told me last night that he actually wants the investigation suspended while Mueller's team is investigated for political bias. Now, this would just drag out the already year-long probe that President Trump's allies say he wants wrapped up.
President Trump and his allies calling on special counsel Robert Mueller to wrap up the Russia investigation.
I think the Mueller investigation has got to stop.
They ought to wrap it up. It's gone on seemingly forever.
This is the president told reporters the following false claim about the latest Inspector General report into the FBI's handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation.
It totally exonerates me.
But his lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, doesn't see it that way, telling me,
I don't think it exonerates him, and in some respects, rather dramatically supports his position.
At the same time, Giuliani potentially dragging the case out even longer, calling the probe to be suspended.
Mueller only gets an interview after he gets thoroughly investigated, and we determine his conflicts, the biases and prejudices of his staff.
Giuliani says he won't even negotiate the terms of a potential sit-down with the president until he sees a report on Mueller's team. Adding if the president does agree to cooperate, Giuliani doesn't want him sitting face-to-face with Mueller.
I think we would prefer questions and written answers, the way Ronald Reagan did.
This comes as Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, may cooperate with prosecutors in a separate investigation into his business dealings and that $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Something Giuliani says the president is not worried about.
The president isn't concerned at all. He's concerned for Michael Cohen. He's not concerned about anything Michael Cohen can do to him.
President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, spent his first weekend in prison. And while President Trump tweeted his sympathy for him, Giuliani tells me that he won't even consider a pardon for Manafort or Cohen until the investigation is completed. Dan, Paula.
Good to know. Tara reporting from the White House for us this morning. Tara, thank you. We want to bring in ABC's chief White House correspondent, John Karl, who's also in D.C., hosting This Week a little bit later this morning. John, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So let's talk about the Russia investigation. Rudy Giuliani now calling for an investigation into the investigation. It's one thing when he speaks, but now we have prominent lawmakers like McCarthy and Mitch McConnell talking about the Mueller investigation, that we need to wrap it up. So does that make a real difference?
It does, and this is a significant change, Paula. I mean, the Republican leadership in Congress has been consistent in supporting the Mueller investigation. So even as the president's called it a witch hunt, even as some of his allies and his base have vilified Mueller, the congressional leadership, people like McCarthy and Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, have said that Mueller must be allowed to do his work. Now the fact that they are coming out and saying it's got to be wrapped up and it's got to be wrapped up soon and it's gone on too long, this is a significant change that could erode the political support for Mueller's investigation. And ultimately, the political support really matters here.
So would this make it easier for the president to fire him?
Well, it certainly could. I mean, they've still held the line saying that firing Mueller would be a mistake. But if the investigation goes on for a significant time after these congressional leaders have said that it needed to stop, it does give the president some, it seems to me, gives him some leeway to do something dramatic like that.
Very quickly here, you've got the former White House strategist, controversial guy, Steve Bannon, on your show this morning. You say he's expected to talk about launching a big push for Republicans in the midterms. But given the current atmosphere and given his past support for people like Roy Moore, what are his odds of success?
Well, some Republicans who are working already on the midterms actually dread the idea that Steve Bannon will be out there in force. When you look at his track record, certainly the Roy Moore race, you imagine losing a Republican Senate seat in the state of Alabama really takes something. But Bannon does have a big following still, and he does channel the president. If you look at the president's agenda right now, it looks a lot like the Bannon agenda.
John Karl, thank you as always. I want to remind everybody, John has a big show this morning. He is, as we just said, he's going to go one-on-one with the former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon. This will be his first live Sunday morning interview since leaving the Trump administration.
Plus, we'll have the Powerhouse Roundtable breaking down the week in politics. That's all coming up on This Week right here on ABC.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.